See, for me personally, the last 3 lives, it's the same work, same place. We're in the same place now once again. To some extent, same people. There are situations where many times I even end up calling them by their old names. We have taken them to those places of past life experience where they've clearly experienced what it is. And they're very much with us and they know it is so. This is not somebody's suggestion, this is not a story told to them. This is something that's a living experience within themselves. But again I insist.
Lot of children below 4 years of age clearly remember their past, but by the time they become 4 years of age, it all dies out.
So, that being was referred to as Shiva Yogi, trying to fulfill the mission that was put into him. Didn't work. Came back again as Sadhguru Sri Brahma.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. So I want to know the truth about rebirth and reincarnation. In one of my movies, I play a character who's reborn with the same traits. Is that even possible?
Namaskaram, Kajal. When you say rebirth, you're essentially asking what happens after death. Well, some things you know best only by experience. I'm sure you're not ready for that, nor do I want you to go in that direction.
If I tell you there is reincarnation, what is the option that you have? To believe it or disbelieve it, isn't it? If you believe what I say, you just have a fancy story going for yourself. If you disbelieve it, you have something to deny. Both ways only entertainment will happen. Nothing else will happen, isn't it? If you really want to know, you must be willing. If you're willing to apply yourself, there is a way to know. In my life, it's a living reality. The last 3 lifetimes for me are in the same place, same work, to some extent same people. Till it becomes a reality in your experience, you should not believe this nonsense.
Don't believe anything, don't disbelieve anything, but if you just pay attention to yourself, you can see the body that you carry is something that you slowly accumulated. So the body that you carry is a piece of this planet actually. The mind that you carry is a heap of impressions that you gathered. So what is it that accumulates this heap of food and heap of information as mind and body? That dimension is beyond birth and rebirth. You may once again accumulate another body and another mind, but essentially life as such is the same thing. So, when it comes to life, you must understand there is something called as my body and your body, there is something called as my mind and your mind, but there is no such thing as my life and your life. Life is just a cosmic happening. This is a living cosmos. How much of life you captured will determine how large a life you live. What is the scope and spread of your life will simply depend on how much life you captured within yourself. The entire science of yoga is just about this, how to make this life super enhanced so that the scope and spread of this life is as much as it can be. When you know human experience is happening from within you, obviously these are 2 descriptions of what a human being can go through, either when they're alive or post that, either within the body or when you're disembodied, both ways it can happen. The advantage when you're bodied is, you have a discretionary mind, you can choose. Right now, you can choose the company that you are in, either to enjoy it or to suffer it, there is a choice. But once you've lost the discretionary mind, which we call as death, when that happens, then whatever is your tendency, you will tend to go in that. Suppose it's your tendency to always negatively react to things and suffer, now once you've lost your body and your discretionary mind, your suffering will become millionfold simply because you can't decide to come out of it. Right now, you go somewhere, you meet somebody, you don't like something or something that they said, you will suffer something. But when you're driving back, you say, hell with him, and you start playing the music and enjoy yourself or do something, because you have a discretionary mind. But once this ability is gone, if you start suffering, you can't stop it. If you start enjoying, you can't stop it. So both joy and misery become extreme. So this is called as hell and heaven, because you lost your discretionary mind, you are happening by your tendency. So this is why in life, it's very important when you have a conscious discretionary mind, you create a pleasant tendency within yourself, so that when you lose it also, you will be extremely pleasant, because pleasantness and unpleasantness will get multiplied millionfold when you don't have a discretionary mind. See, why if you give a simple lollipop to a child, he enjoys it so much that it is like the end of his life, because he doesn't have the same sense of discretion that you have. That is why his sense of joy is so high. At the same time, if you take away the lollipop, his sense of suffering is also very high, because again he does not have the same level of discretion that you have. But once you're disembodied, you are not just a child kind of loss of discretion, your discretion is completely absent. You go 100% by your tendencies.
Sadhguru, how come like a boy 6 years old, he can remember his last life, he can tell who he is, who's his parent, and after a time, he can forget everything?
Yes, how come he can remember? He should not remember. Nature has given you this cocoon of life so that you do not remember. It has given you a protective wall so that you do not remember. Because if you remember, you will become a far bigger mess than you are right now. See, these few years of living here, 10, 20, 30, 60 years of living here, people are just struggling with the memories of their life, isn't it? Yes, people have great struggles with these few years of memories. Suppose a few lifetimes of memory opened up, you know what a turmoil and struggle it would cause within you? Just being here, you're still struggling with relationships. You're still not able to forget what happened yesterday, what may happen tomorrow, all these struggles are going on. Suppose you realized, let's say you remember your past lives and you realized that your dear son happens to be your neighbor's pet dog. Suppose, just saying. Because these days dogs are having a better life than us. Yes. You know what a havoc it would cause in your life and in your neighbor's life and in the dog's life. It wouldn't be good for anybody, isn't it? Unless you're in such a state of understanding and dispassion that even if you come to know this was your wife or your mother or your father or your dearest friend, you can still continue without even looking at them, then it's okay to know. But if you're somebody who has emotions for everything that you think that belongs to you, see, this is the problem. People's emotions are coming only towards those things which they call as theirs. Suppose, let's say, you have never met your father, or you have not seen your mother since you were born, or you had not seen your twin brother or a brother or a sister in your whole life. Today, I showed you, see, this is your mother. You have never seen her, you have nothing to do with her. But now, because somebody told you, this is your mother, the moment you say, oh, she's my mother, suddenly emotions burst out. From where? You have not built a relationship with this person, you have nothing to do with this person. Just because somebody says, this is yours, when somebody says, this is your mother, somebody is saying, this person belongs to you, isn't it? So your emotions flare up only to those things which you consider as mine. So if you have this problem, that everything has to be yours, only then it'll happen, then I would say, get little more greedy, make everything yours. That's what Isha Yoga is about, Anyway, you're greedy. Why be stingy on your greediness? Take it all the way. Oh, my children, I have tremendous feeling. Make everybody yours. What's the problem? Somebody there to stop you? Is somebody there to stop you? If that's your way, take it all the way. Or nobody is yours, that is also fine. It's a harder way, but that is also fine. Nobody is mine is fine. Everybody is mine is fine. This is mine, that is not mine, this is a problem. So, if you remember past lives and you are in this state that this is mine and this is not mine, then you're going to get into lots of trouble, too much trouble, more than you can handle. If you have reached a point, everything is yours or nothing is yours, then it's okay to remember. Then it will be useful to remember. So a 6-year-old boy, just by chance, remembered something. It's just sometimes the systems in the nature fail, Some data input mistake. It happens. Such a complex structure, sometimes, it happens. Little bit of mistake, the necessary protection was not created in a particular child. Even if they do, usually before they grow up, they tend to forget. Lot of children below 4 years of age clearly remember their past, but by the time they become 4 years of age, it all dies out. After 4 years of age, they get involved in this life, whatever is around them. Till they're 4 years of age, it is possible in their minds the past could be just going on. I don't know if you're aware of this in India, for a variety of reasons they said this. They say, till the child is 4 years of age, he belongs to God. Only after that, he belongs to you. Because they're saying, because he's running with so many memories, he doesn't belong to anybody at that time. After that, once his memory goes off, he starts relating to everything around him in a deeper way. That's when he begins to belong to you. At least he gives you an illusion that he belongs to you. Yes, they'll break it after some time. They do, isn't it? One way or the other they do. So, it could happen, it's happened many times, but generally such people forget after some time that capability or that kind of aberration, I would say, happens only at a certain phase of childhood. After that it dies by itself.
See, for me personally, the last 3 lives, it's the same work, same place. We're in the same place now once again. To some extent, same people. There are situations where many times I even end up calling them by their old names. We have taken them to those places of past life experience where they've clearly experienced what it is. And they are very much with us and they know it is so. This is not somebody's suggestion, this is not a story told to them. This is something that's a living experience within themselves. But again I insist, don't believe all this. Because by believing, you will destroy your possibility. oh, I know there are lives. Finished, you are. The moment you make a conclusion, you have destroyed all search within you, isn't it? Yes? The moment you make a conclusion, there is no thing to search. I don't know. You can't live with an I don't know, isn't it? Yes? You cannot live with an I don't know. I don't know is uncomfortable right now, but it's a tremendous possibility because it starts the search. Once a deep I don't know enters you, you will see your whole life energy becomes search. It is not just an intellectual quest. Once the I don't know sinks into you very deeply, all that we have done in the 6 days is to bring you to a state where you don't know anything and you're happy about it. Yes? You have not been stuffed with knowledge in the 6 days. Slowly, slowly you're coming to a state where you really don't know anything. If this I don't know sinks deep into you, you will see your very life energies becomes a seeking, a searching. Then, truth cannot be hidden from you. If your seeking is intense, how can anybody hide it with you, for you? Because it's within you. Nobody can take it away from you. Right now, the seeking is not intense enough. Spirituality is still entertainment. 7-day flirtation. It's not going to work that way. When it sinks deep, something else happens.
My physical proximity with him was just for a few minutes. It is in these few moments that this fabulous, crafty man enslaved me for his project. Everything that I did was around it because it was my Guru's dream and it was his vision that the Dhyana Linga has to be established. This is my Guru's will and grace. I must tell you something about the madness from where I come. After 2 lifetimes of heartbreaking sadhana, very intense, very truly heartbreaking sadhana. These 2 lifetimes, I was referred to by people as Shivayogi. And when it was needed, when my Guru appeared, and when he felt he did not feel fit to touch me, he touched me with his stick. And everything that needs to be realized was realized. I was at the very peak of anything can be.
So, that being was referred to as Shivayogi, trying to fulfill the mission that was put into him. Didn't work. Came back again. I said, Guru Sri Brahma, tried very hard, almost successful, but couldn't fix the goodwill in the society because the intensity of who he is could not be understood in the social circumstances.
He couldn't fulfill that. He prepared a few people and then went up the mountain. He was checking himself. Why has he failed? He's got everything. Why is it didn't happen? He knew it's not that he lacks the competence, it's just that he did not garner the social support that was needed. So he went up the mountain for the last time. Before going up, he announced here at the foothills, a few of his disciples gathered. They said, "What now?" He said, "Even Tirpi Varwan, that means this one will be back again." And he went up the mountain for the last time. And he did a rare thing. He left his body through all his seven chakras at the same time. He's just checking himself. He knows it's not so, but still the first blame should be on you when something doesn't work. So he's checking in case I'm not good, but I'm not good enough. So he left his body through all his seven chakras. This phenomenal energy, this very distinct energy which is nowhere else, you can experience on the seventh hill. It's very, very different from anything that you would find anywhere. It's distinctly different. So with that done, he knew what is the problem is you didn't handle the circumstance properly. This round when we came, we planned everything to a point where we decided a few people that I need, where they are born, in which room, how. Everything was planned, it went accordingly.
For people needed for the consecration, I place them in the right kind of places so that everything comes together at the right time. In spite of that, took it 18 years of preparation in this life to put it together, to put the people together, to remind them of their past, to get them there. No, this is too fairy tale-ish for you, but this is something that's a living reality for us. So the consecration process itself took 3.5 years, a very intense process. People who witness these things, their lives are never the same again. Things that they had not imagined in their wildest dreams, they witnessed, they still can't believe that it actually happened in their presence. Yogi Sunira, he worked through his lifetime, and towards the end of his life, when this dream of creating a perfect being remained unfulfilled, Yogi Sunira made a prophecy that long time from now, long time from now, this work that I have started will find fulfillment and reverberate, not here, but in the green hills of the south. Our hills are green. We are in the south. So whatever Sunira's prophecy has come true, but not the way he thought it would.
Dhyana linga is like a living guru. The role of a guru in a spiritual seeker's life is not just about giving teachings and guidances. The most fundamental thing why a spiritual seeker seeks a guru is because a guru can ignite his energies into a different dimension. That aspect of guru's role in a spiritual seeker's life is very well fulfilled by the Dhyana linga. Once a person is in the sphere of Dhyana linga, he cannot escape the sowing of the spiritual seed of liberation within himself.